guys, welcome back to the channel, and how nice it is to be back. After we've done the show, you can see it was a really hot weekend, so we got ourselves a really nice tan. And I do apologize for the previous videos, the standards have dropped. If you watched the videos, then you probably found me quite entertaining, but I did literally had a giggle to myself. But yes, the state of myself when you are out in the nature, do you know what, it's not kind of the same stuff, not the same thing. So I do kind of feel a bit more like a human being inside now and actually filming in my own kitchen, in my own creature comfort. So anyway, in today's video, guys, we are making a beef jerky. I spoke to a few of you on the show, and some of you asked if I preserve the meat in a way of making a biltong or beef jerky. I do, however, I don't do this as a method of preservation. I just do this because we absolutely love it, and literally it does not last my husband and myself any more than a couple of days. I currently bought which is currently now in the freezer, firming up a little bit. I had a joint of beef, is the beef brisket that was on a deal in Tesco's. So as a first thing, guys, before you slice the beef, I strongly suggest you freeze it a little bit because it's much easier to cut. So anyway, the first things first, whilst the meat's still in the freezer, let's create a sauce. And it's more so, I'm saying a sauce, it's not a rub. And this is why reason that meat would not last a particularly long time. It's okay for a couple of weeks in the fridge, it's absolutely fine, because we're creating a sticky marinade on top. Whether if you do a dry rub, obviously it's just the dry herbs and spices, and it will keep much longer anyway. But we prefer this, and I'm going to start with this recipe. So you can adjust the recipe, like any recipe, to your best flavors. No, your favorite flavors. The main thing for our ingredients for this one is I've got some brown sugar, I've got some barbecue sauce, we've got some tomato ketchup, we have a Worcestershire sauce, I have salt and pepper in one. I always mix mine and I keep them mixed. It's 1-to-1. I have some garlic powder, I've got some hot paprika, I've got some vinegar, I've got a soy sauce, and I have some honey. So, as first things first, let's go with the barbecue sauce. This one is sweet and spicy, but you can use whatever. I used the JD barbecue sauce, and that was yummy as well. Again, you can omit any of the ingredients, guys, if you don't want to. So, I've got this one, and I'm going to use it up. This is a messy one. This one was from Lidl. It was £1.49, I think. Right, so, brown sauce. Tiny bit of tomato ketchup. And you kind of mix it together, guys, but you can then just taste it and add on, or, well, you can't take anything away, but you can add on to what you want. Worcestershire sauce, absolutely love it. Because it's got that vinegary thing, it kind of marinates it through the meat. A few cloves of that. I normally make far too much marinade, but that's okay. Right, salt and pepper goes in there. And the reason, guys, I'm not doing it adding on to the meat as we go, because I want to be able to kind of taste it. And if I add on the meat, I don't want to kind of having the a raw meat on my fingers. So basically, I'm mixing it first, and if I like it, we add on the meat. Right, so there was a little bit of tablespoon, of salt and pepper, 1 tablespoon roughly of garlic. We need to have a tiny bit of, I would say probably 1/4 of tablespoon, or teaspoon if you wish, of paprika, just for a little bit of heat. Okay, I'm gonna do literally tiny of the soy sauce, because it can really overpower it and I don't like it. A bit of a mustard, okay, and a tiny bit of vinegar, and then I'm gonna add on sugar. And there's a beauty of this, as I said, guys, you can do what you want, you can literally do what you want, but this is, my husband likes that, okay. And I've got sugar, okay, brown sugar. Let me just mix that up. I put 2 tablespoons. The reason I'm using this and mixing this in a bowl, because I want it to be a clear bowl so you guys can see when I add on the meat. Because I haven't put up a separate camera. I just wanted to for you to see roughly the colour. Okay. Smell that. Right, so switch this round, and we'll see what we want to add on a bit more of. Don't forget, the quantities also depend on the size of or the amount of the beef. I have 650 grams, so. Okay, that's good. I think I want to add on a tad more of Worcestershire sauce and a tad more of sugar. Because you don't forget as well, when you dehydrate, because I'm going to do this in the dehydrator, all the flavors are going to be concentrated. So I've made mistake once before when I added on some chili, and it kind of tasted okay when it was in the raw form, and then after I dehydrated, it concentrated the chili, so it was really, really hot. It was still yummy, but it was a little bit too hot for my liking. Okay, so they're good. Yeah, spot on. Okay, so all I'm gonna do now, guys, I'm gonna put this aside, I'm gonna get our beef, and I'll show you what to do next. So guys, I've got my beef out of the freezer, and it's could have probably done a little bit longer, but I cannot wait to do this because we've got a little one coming back. Nonetheless, anyway, the time is of the essence, I should say. So this beef brisket, it's got 652 grams, and it was reduced from £6.52 to £2.28. Generally, as I said, I love to do and we love to eat it, but because of the beef is so expensive, when we buy beef, we much prefer to eat it as a steak rather than make a beef jerky from it. So here we are, we have 2 pieces. Right, actually I need to put this on the board anyway. Here we are, really, really cold. Let's get the, you got to make sure, guys, your hands are clean or wear gloves. I normally, to be fair, prefer to wear gloves, but I don't think anybody wants to see me wearing blue gloves. Maybe they do, I don't know. Here we are, okay. So, I'll get this behind me. So here we are, we have, so this look here is 2 pieces. The reason, guys, I said to freeze that, because it just makes it a little bit easier to cut. It's not frozen that well, so it's not a problem, it's not a problem at all. Generally as well, guys, when you preserve the meat for longer term, you do not use fat, you try to cut off as much as possible. Opposite to if we're doing the jerky for a kind of immediate consumption, a little bit of fat, when you dehydrate that, it can become really melty and really, really yummy. So I normally keep it on. And the next thing, guys, we're just going to be slicing meat into pieces. We have to go against the grain, and you do this as thinly as you can. As I said, it's achieved much better if you do have the meat frozen. You can actually control the knife, because meat moves around, the pieces are not particularly always even. However, it kind of adds on a little bit of fun to when you come to eat and dehydrate it. Don't forget as well, you can bosh this with a meat bosher, I call it a meat bosher anyway. But here we go, guys, look. So we're cutting into lovely thin pieces like that. The thickness, again, is a personal choice. The only thing it is, obviously the thicker it is, the longer it takes to dehydrate, but it literally makes no odds whatsoever. So okay, I shall continue cutting this off camera, and I will see you when they all cut. So guys, I've cut the meat, and it was a little bit big towards the end when you have a tiny pieces you can't get hold of. So my next thing is, right, because the sizes of the slices is kind of varies a lot. So what next step I'm going to do, I'm going to use the meat beater, and we're going to just tenderize a little pieces, okay? It just literally, all it does, tenderizes it and makes it a little bit flatter. So it kind of makes it a universal thickness, so it really cooks or dehydrates quick enough. So pieces like that, right, I will cut in half. Purely, it really honestly doesn't matter, lengthwise or the other way, but I kind of find them to eat them when they are like little sticks when they dehydrate. It's kind of, it's a preferred method anyway. So what I'm going to do literally is do that, and then now I'm going to chuck them in there. So I shall continue doing that. So guys, we are pretty much finished, and as I mentioned, you can totally skip this step of meat boshing if you've cut your beef thin enough. However, I think it's a little bit fun, and you know, you can think of the horrible people you don't like. Anyway, it's a little bit relaxing just to bosh something until it's flat. I know it sounds really bad, but it's actually somewhat a bit of enjoyment in there anyway. And but yeah, meat tenderizers, guys, you can pick them up for like, I think, £7 on Amazon. They're a really good thing to have, and not just for boshing the meat. Well, actually, sorry, yes, it's just for washing the meat, sorry. It's a silly thing to say. Anyway, so here we are, okay? We are done. We have all our beef cut now. Okay, so the next step is, it's all gonna go in our saucepan here. Saucepan? Dish. Okay. Right, I've got my spoon. Do be careful as well, guys, when you, just to make you aware, when you do wash the meat, you do get meat splats everywhere. So do make sure. It was a bad choice of clothing, but I've seemed to be saved so far. Okay, so mix it all together. I do not like touch the meat, I don't, but the best thing, guys, if you do really want to do the job properly, is you get your hands stuck in there, okay? Literally, you massage the marinade in. There's no better kitchen tool than your hands, okay? Right, okie dokie. So here we are, look, we have, is a perfect amount of marinade, give or take, hopefully you can see that. So that's that now. I'm gonna cover it up and let it sit for a couple hours. Whilst the meat was chilling, I was chilling with a glass of wine, hence the glass of wine suddenly appeared. Anyway, the best thing to do, guys, if your time allows you, is to leave this thing overnight. But I don't have the time, nor do I have the patience. And to be fair, because it is kind of marinade over the top and it gets sort of nice sticky and gooey, it's absolutely fine. It's okay. It's all right. As I always say to you with my brewery and any other recipes, let's not complicate things if they don't need to be complicated, because life is complicated enough already. So, as you can see, I do apologise, I had to take a last one. I'm going to be using my Excalibur Dehydrator. For all you that follow, yes, it is still with me. It's still doing okay, still sweating a bit, but anyway, it's still kind of a-okay. So, next thing, I am gloving up for this one. Okay, I am going to put the gloves on. I'm going to use my hands to put it on. You can twit around with the little tongs, but you'll be there all day because the meat sort of folds, and we need to lay it out straight. So the hands is best. Okay. It's a messy job, but somebody's got to do it. Okay, so I do apologise. It's not going to be dehydrated here. I've got to be moving this around, but for the video's sake, I'm just going to do so you guys get to see. Right, so our little pieces of meat. We just line them up. It's going to be dribbling underneath, but that's okay. The main thing, okay, is that the meat pieces just don't touch each other. It'll just speed up the process. It smells so good. And I guarantee you, okay, as soon as you fry this up, within an hour, you can pop it up there and you can be sampling the pieces. I know I already. And it's okay because you technically can eat beef pretty much raw. So yeah. It's very important. So let me continue doing that. Unfortunately, in this case, guys, the dehydrator will not be full. And I always do say to maximize your electricity energy consumption is to fill up the dehydrator to make it more cost effective. However, it is sunny and it's going to be sunny for a few days. So I'm going to use the solar and I might turn it off for night time. I might go again just for the sake of one tray, because you can see, right, you know, if you've seen the prices of like even biltong in the shops and the beef jerky, the price is like ridiculously expensive, because you say the sheer amount of time that takes, obviously, plus also the amount it costs to buy your beef, it's ridiculous. Time and effort, and obviously the raw ingredients. I normally, as I said to you guys, I only look out for the beef on the deal. And those is kind of the cuts, the briskets, the sort of thing that it's not a steak and it's kind of, you need to take low and slow cooking. It works really, really well for the for our beef jerky. Let's get that in. Where did I take it from? I took it from the bottom. Huh. Silly mummy. Right, there goes it. I will put this to the top. Another one. It is a little bit tedious, a little bit, but and I have the best bit, right? This is a piece of fat off the top, and it is gonna be absolutely yummy. So, guys, we are done. Okay, I'm gonna take my dirty gloves off. It is so messy, 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 messy. Okay, so I am gonna put. So you're gonna have 2.5 trays. Okay, all of this. Good job. The beef costed so so cheap. So we'll have, let's swap this one round. Ooh, a bit of lead got left behind. Look at that, it is beautiful. And it smells even more beautiful. Right, so we are putting our lid on, and this guy is gonna go on. I have to move him into a different room. It's gonna go to the utility over there. And the temperature here, just gonna, must plug it in so you can hear one more time. So it goes off to 74, up to 74 degrees Celsius. So it's going on, and I'm not even bother using the timer on here. We are basically gonna dehydrate it between 6 and 10 hours. And I totally understand, you think, well, my God, this is such a, let's turn it off because you might not hear me. It's such a massive time difference between 6 and 10 hours. However, it all depends, guys, on the thickness of the meat and the kind of temperature outside and temperature within where it is. It just on many things. So because we are not achieving a totally like really dry snap in the meat, we are making it to the stage where it's kind of pliable but still cooked. So we're going to keep an eye on it, and I'll show you hopefully in a couple of hours after it's cooked for a little bit. You can see, because it will shrink a lot. It will shrink hell of a lot. And you think, oh my God, is that all I'm getting? And as I said, it will make you certainly understand yet again 100% why the stuff is so expensive. And then we can weigh this and see, out of 652 grams, we'll see how much of the the beef jerky we get at the end. So I'm going to put this on, guys, and I'll see you in a couple of hours. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a couple of hours, and this is what we have, right? Oh, the wrong one. Where did I put them? I forgot where I put them. Here we go. Wine's talking. Here we are. Look. This is yummy. Okay, they still need time, but they are cooking. They literally cooked through, and as you can see, where did I put them? I don't remember. I left a few of them been missing. They've gone missing because somebody's been eating them. They are just super yummy. So this is pretty much ready, actually. This one is anyway. So yeah, here we are, guys. I'm gonna now leave them, okay? And they're gonna be going in, well, until they're done, so another few hours. But chances are, guys, I will pick this up tomorrow morning. So we're gonna plug it in back in the solar, and yes, we shall see you tomorrow when they're done. So guys, welcome back. It took 8 hours to dehydrate the jerky, and this is what we have. Here we are. You can see, obviously this one was the half of the tray. There are some gaps, as I have warned you guys. There will be some that are missing because we'll be tasting them as we go along, and we'll have not too many because obviously I haven't done a huge amount, but nonetheless, guys, we are done, and it's literally as simple as. And this is really what we have. Yummy. So what I'm going to do, just going to put them in a bowl, weigh them, and see how much we got out of our 652 grams. So it's all now in a bowl. Let's weigh it. The bowl weighs 900 grams. So let's see what the total we get. Doesn't feel like a lot, to be fair. Yes, it's 1100 kilos and 16 grams. So this is kind of disappointing, you might think, to be fair, guys. You know how much the beef jerky is in the shops. I think it's about £2 for like 20 or 30 grams. So technically, I think it's still a good value, but it's a super tasty, guys. And it's, to be fair, for us, it's probably a snack for a couple of days once we have it. As I said, it will last you easily a couple of weeks in an airtight container. However, it just would not last that long. You would just eat it. It's one of those things. Once you start it, you just have to eat them. It's just what it is. Anyway, so hopefully, guys, you enjoyed the recipe. I will share with you a dry rub recipe. That means that the meat will be drier without too much moisture on the outside. That means we can keep this for much longer. So if you enjoyed the video, guys, don't forget to thumbs up, please. It'll help the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.